Hi guys, welcome to gymnastics. It's Monday. It's a rainy day here. I'm not sure if it's raining where you are. Today we are going to be talking about balance, and we are going to be doing skills for all of the kids. So we're going to be doing skills for our little bitties, our 18-month-olds, all the way up through our advanced kids. So obviously some skills will be easier than others, and some the kids may need a little extra help with, but you can let them do what they feel comfortable with or variations of that. And I think that'll be awesome for them for their exercises for today. And once again, especially continuing with our stretching exercises. And for my advanced kids, if you missed the last video, be sure you watch that, especially my teen kids. There's some special information at the end of that video for you guys. So the first balancing skill we're going to work on today is going to be a seated one, so it's going to be sitting on their bottom. And what we're going to work on is called a V-sit. So for doing a V-sit, what they're going to do is they're going to sit in that tuck position, that's knees up in their stomach. Turn to the side again so you can get a better view. So knees up in their tummy, and they're going to hold on to their heels. And then by holding on to their heels, they're going to straighten their legs. So this is called a V-sit. A V-sit. And by pulling on their arms, that's what helps them be able to hold that position. A great thing for our smaller kids, our under 5 kids, is for the parent to sit beside them and maybe put their hand on their back and let them work on picking up their legs. If your daughter or you, if it's you doing the video, if you can't hold your heel yet, then you can hold your ankles, and you can do it holding your ankles. Holding your ankle position. So pulling on your arms is what helps you be able to hold the position. This is a V-sit. So the next one is called a straddle V-sit. So you're going to sit in butterfly position. Some of you have done this one before. And basically you're going to make that heart position with your hands. So you're going to make a heart position with your hands, and you're going to grab your heels that direction. And we're going to do one arm at a time. So we're going to straighten out that leg. I'm going to actually scoot back. So I've changed my direction today, so hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit better. So you're going to straighten out one leg, then you're going to, then you're going to straighten out the other leg. So that same scenario of pulling back on your feet, that helps you be able to hold that position and balance. And you can pull the legs together, and you can pull the legs apart. And that position is a straddle V-sit. So you can have them work on that with going from the V-sit if they're a little bit more advanced. So doing it with their feet together and then opening with their hands reversed. Or you can do it just sitting from that position of butterfly. And then you can have them work on lifting both legs at the same time. Which, as you can see, that was a little bit easier for me than doing one leg at a time, because that's the way that I usually do it. We talked a little bit about balance positions during our body positions that we worked on, but I'm going to review a couple of those really quickly just for the friends that did not do them or weren't here when we did those. So you may see some of those throughout the video while we're doing the exercises. But the next position, I'm going to talk about is actually a 1-foot position that they're going to work from standing. So we're going to do a standing, and we're going to do a passe. And a passe position is where they're going to stand in what we do call flamingo. So they're going to balance with their big toe on their knee. On their knee or high up on their knee, and they're going to try to not stick their leg out like a flamingo. So they're going to put their foot next to their knee. Arms out obviously helps. So they're in a arms out position balancing. And when we're doing any kind of balance skill, doing something that we call spotting, which is looking at a spot, something that they're keeping their eye focused on, will help them balance better. So that is your passe position. The other position that we're going to work on is called coupe. So for coupe, which means to cup, they're going to put their toe on their ankle bone. So their toe is going to be down low next to their ankle, pointing down. That pointed foot position that we talked about before. So that pointed position, pointing down. So we have coupe and passe. And those positions can also be done to the side, so you can do them to the side. And I would recommend doing them on both legs. So they're going to do coupe, passe on both legs. So those are coupe and passe positions. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to go back down on the ground, and we're going to do that mountain position with a tall body, straight arms, straight legs. That's a 4-point position balance skill because you have 4 points on the floor. And then I really want my advanced kids to work on lifting that leg. So lifting the leg up high in the air and switching and doing the opposite side. Also, with my advanced kids, I would like for them to work on putting their hands together so that they can hold that position on the beam. My advanced teen girls and boys, you already know that's the beginning mount, going from that push-up position, from push-up, stepping forward, up to that position. So that is your beginning mount for your balance beam routine. So extra practice on that is great for you to work on. So we want to try to practice that as much as we can. The next one we're going to work on is tripod position. So the tripod position is a headstand, and I'm going to turn this way because I think this is probably the best way to go. So you're going to put your hands on the floor, and you're going to be sure, a bit straddle, you're going to be sure you can see your fingers. If your hands are by your head, then you can't. So you're going to be sure you can see your fingers, and you're going to put your knees up on your elbows. And so that is a tripod position. So you are balancing on 3 points, your head and your hands, and then you're relaxing your knees on your elbows. It's very important you have big, strong muscles when you're doing that. Keep your arms tight, especially with our little friends. I like to recommend sitting in kneeling position. Have them put their head between your knees, and then you can squeeze their head with your knees. Put their hands right in front of your knees, and then you can help them hold them up in a tripod. And also you can have them go ahead and push all the way up to their headstand. But you're holding their head, squeezing it with your knees so that their head's not going from side to side. Lots of the children that are under 5 don't have a lot of body awareness yet, so they are more likely to tilt their head from side to side. So I would just give them extra support on that. The best thing for them to do, if they are doing it solo, be sure they have enough room to be able to roll out if they tip over, so that you have a big enough space from side to side and front to back, so that way if they do any tipping over, then you should be okay with that. Our 5s and up that already have a tripod and can hold that position, then you can work on pulling your legs up in a tuck, that's your knees to your chest, and then opening your legs all the way up into your handstand. From that handstand position, if you're holding it, you can also work on straddling the legs, opening the legs up in that straddling position in your headstand. So that's another position that you can work on when you're in the headstand position. So the next skill we're going to work on is the lunge. We did the lunge on last Wednesday when we did body positions. And we also did the lunge on Friday when we were talking about our walkovers. So for your lunge, excuse me, remember that is front leg bent, back leg straight, arms by your ears, forward a little's fine, straight up's fine also. Remember, feet are turned out, foot should be turned that direction, back foot should be turned that direction, so that way you have a hard base. So this is a 2-point balance skill. It's kind of an easy skill to balance on, but we're working on that positioning of the lunge position with the bent leg and the straight leg. And we're also going to go ahead and demonstrate our pose position, which is knee to knee. So you're working on going from that lunge position to that pose position, knee to knee. This is especially for advanced kids. And in that position, your front foot can be straight, or it can still be turned out. There goes my sock again. And a little balance skill there. So, those are some of the balance skills that we've been working on for beam and also for floor. The next one that we're going to talk about is arabesque and scale. And both of these are floor and balance beam skills as well. And for the arabesque, you're going to work on, should be standing on your good foot. I'm a lefty, so you should be standing on your good foot, arms by your head, leg up. Okay, your leg only has to be at 30 degrees to get points for your skill. Some of the girls can lift that leg up really super duper high, but they can't keep their bottom leg straight. So you need that bottom base leg to be super tight. So this is a 1-point balance skill because you're standing on one thing. So that's why it's important that they have those straight bottom leg, pointed toe, leg up behind. Doesn't have to be way up here. They're going to bend that leg. So it doesn't have to be very high. The next part is the scale position. For the scale position, I like for the girls to do arms back by their side. So we're going to do just scale without the arabesque. So they're going to lean forward and they're going to hold their leg out. There again, working on that, spotting that skill and holding it. Very, very important. Bottom leg straight. Again, doesn't matter how high you lift your leg if you're bending your bottom leg. You're losing all your value of your skill with a great high leg if you're bending your bottom leg. Now we're going to do one more turn through of going from arabesque to scale. So we're going to start in that arabesque position, and then we're going to lean forward into the scale. So that is all they have to hold for the competition. If they hold it longer, that's awesome, that's great, but it's not that they have to hold it a long time. Sometimes when they hold it too long, they lose their balance and they fall. So it's better just to pass through that position as they are getting their value for their balance skill. Well, that's all for today, guys. I hope you're doing well at home. I really, really hope that by the end of the week we have good news that we will be back in the gym. So keep working on your gymnastics, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great Monday.